Before we dive into this week's episode, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has left a supportive comment on our YouTube videos or our socials or our Substack about our decision to sell Ruby Rose 2. The comments have been just overwhelmingly kind and lovely, and it's just meant so much to us. In case you missed it, we have made the very difficult decision to sell Ruby Rose 2. A lot of you are understandably curious about our rationale and the reasons behind our decision, and a couple of you have indicated that our explanations so far have kind of fallen short, and I appreciate that it might be a little frustrating that we haven't disclosed everything that has happened and the reasons why we've made this decision. Unfortunately, we are going to keep that private for now. I hope you understand that we can't disclose everything, but we are wanting to reassure you that we're both well. It's got nothing to do with our health or anything catastrophic like that. And so if you are interested in purchasing Ruby Rose 2, then the listing is in the description below. We do still have some episodes to bring to you that we've already filmed, but I wanted to bring them all to you so that we could kind of conclude our time on board our boat in a neat way instead of just cutting it off. So that's why we are now going back in time a little bit, and we are picking up from where we left off in last episode, which is when we are leaving an anchorage in Turkey and we're taking the boat back to Foça.
Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to this week's episode. We are sailing back to Foça. After today, we need to get Ruby Rose 2 all ready to be left alone for months, and Nick and I are feeling really bittersweet about that.
Very bittersweet. I think for the last week or so we have talked almost daily about our thoughts on this season and what we have thought of it. I kind of think that the whole summary in a sentence is it's probably the best thing we've ever done. The Greek islands, the Turkish waters, insanely good. Problems with a little bit of bureaucracy, not problems, just things we've had to sort out. So yeah, there's a bureaucratic element to it, but we faced worse bureaucracy. I would suggest that the worst bureaucracy we ever had to deal with was probably Morocco.
Yeah.
What we've seen has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I think if you want testament to how good this season has been, the worst thing we did all season was visit Santorini. Yeah. And Santorini is meant to be one of the most beautiful and most desirable places to go in the world. So yeah, then we have to head back to Foça. Terysa said yesterday, we could literally scrape the salt off our boat roof and sell it. The boat is it's essentially pickled.
It's pickled.
Yeah, it was salted 1370.
And we're just interrupting this amazing episode to bring you some news. We have written a book. It is called The Boat Life Manual, and it is 300 plus pages of everything you're going to need to know about how to live on a boat, how to buy a boat, how to sell a boat, how to live with pets on a boat, how to live with children on a boat, how to travel the world with your family and your significant other. It has taken us 2 years to write. The foreword is by Dee Kafari. It is our finest work yet, and there is a link for the pre-orders below. So have a click on that because we are very proud of this. And this book will be out very soon, so we're just taking pre-orders at the moment.
We've just had the most amazing season. It's been incredible, far exceeded even our high expectations. And also, the truth of the matter is, and this might not be something that people who are not yet cruisers want to hear. 10 years ago when I first moved onto a boat, this wasn't the kind of thing that even crossed my mind. But I think maybe other cruisers, and maybe particularly cruisers who work from their boat, and maybe especially cruisers who film everything that they do like we do, they might understand is that you really do need time away from the boat. It's very, and this comes down to personality, of course. Lots of people don't need that time. But for Nick and I, it's very draining to be living on the boat full time, cruising around, filming pretty much everything that we do, after a while we just need a little bit of a reset, and so we're taking the boat back to Fotcha so that we can have that reset, because it can be, there's no separation. I think I've mentioned this once or twice before. It's not something I want to talk about too much because it sounds like I'm kind of complaining about our very privileged lives, which I'm not, but I'm just making an observation that there's no separation between our work life, which is this, and our life, our lifestyle, which is this. So it's really hard to kind of have that separation. And I think, we all know that a work-life balance is supremely important for your mental health and everything else, your physical health, all the things. So we really have, over the years, learned to prioritize separating our work life from our personal life. And one of the techniques that we've landed on, one of the ways that we've decided to do that, and it really works for us, we've tried this before, is to leave the boat somewhere and actually get away from the boat. And that allows us to really focus on editing, on doing all our social media, which usually kind of falls by the wayside when we're actually cruising, and working on other projects that we want to work on as well. Like, our whole life isn't about the boat. We have other hobbies, we have other passions. Nick, for example, I don't know if you guys know, you may do if you've followed us for a while, he goes to Vietnam regularly and volunteers as a dentist. So he works with children who otherwise wouldn't have access to any dental work, and he volunteers there through another international dentist organisation, and he needs time to do that, so he goes back to Vietnam quite regularly so that he can volunteer. That's something that obviously he doesn't get any kind of monetary benefit from or financial benefit from. That's something that he does because he just feels passionate about it. We don't talk about it much on YouTube because it kind of feels a little bit, I don't know, crass. But it's something that we carve out time to do. I like to carve out time to go back to Melbourne and to spend time with my family. My sister has a child now. That's changed the dynamic of our family. My sister lives in a separate state to my parents, so I can't really see them together very often. So prioritizing that family time, not forgetting that for my entire adult life, which has actually been quite a few years now, I have lived away from my own family, from Australia. I moved to London when I was 23. So, this is really the first time that I've been able to spend these long chunks of time with my family since, I was 22. So we have a lot of other things going on in our lives, and it's important to us to make room for those other things. So that is why we are taking Ruby Rose 2 back to the Marina. A bit of a long-winded way of saying that, today is the last day of us being out on the water for a while, and it's a bittersweet feeling because I've just enjoyed this season so much, and it's just been incredible, and we've had such a great time, and I'm sad that it's come to an end. I really am.
What do I believe? What makes me feel it to write you this song? 2 hours a day, 5 months and a year. Oh, I loved you too long.
Just approaching the Marina now. I'm not going to film us tying up. I've run out of SD card space on my old phone. So you're just going to have to imagine it. Hopefully it's nice and smooth. And I'll see you guys again in a few minutes' time when we are all tied up safely in our berth. It has been 2 days since we got here, and we are very happy to be tied up safe and sound in Oasis Marina in Fotcha. Boat's looking slightly messy, but yeah, we're just very glad to be here. And we basically just have been resting, just decompressing from a fairly hectic season.
we've got friends here and we have been hanging out with them, and we've just been kind of enjoying the very fast Wi-Fi here at the Marina. Actually, I've been uploading all of our footage to the cloud so that I've got it no matter what. We still haven't cleaned the boat because we don't have any water. We're down to 10% of our water tank because we haven't filled it up yet. And now the Marina has a power outage, and so we don't have any shore power, we don't have any water, and yeah, we're just relying on our batteries for the moment. But you know, we're still running the air conditioning, and actually it's totally fine. So we've never done that before. We've never run the air conditioning during the day, just off our own batteries. And yeah, we're actually putting power in, I think. Yeah, we're putting in like 10 amps. So even with the aircon running on low.
At the moment, I'm just going to run through this. It's a 24 volt system. So for those of you with 12 volt systems, be aware of this, right? Our solar is putting in 27 and 13, so that's 40 amps. So that'd be equivalent of 80 amps in a 12 volt system. We are putting in 11 amps still, so our net gain is still 11 amps plus with the air conditioning on low. With the air conditioning on high, it was minus 27. So that is literally drawing 38 amps difference. So 38 amps in a 24 volt system, that's 76 amps in a 12 volt system. So 20, yeah, so really the difference in power consumption between that low air conditioning and high air conditioning is insane. We can run the low air conditioning all day long, but we will flatten our batteries pretty darn quickly if we use it in high. Interesting. I think it must be back on if the internet is off.
No, well, clearly it's not back on, because otherwise our batteries would be charged.
Yeah, it could be. It could just be a trip to the pedestal. I'll go and ask them.
Okay.
I'm going to have a nap. I'll ask them about it.
Okay, no rush. We have just had the most amazing weekend with our patrons. They came to visit us here in Fotcha, and we just had the absolute best sailing meetup I think that we've ever had. I thought Pattaya was good. This, I think, was even better, and the standard was already so high. We had about, I think, 16 people on board sailing, and we had literally one of the best sails that we've ever had on this boat. It was incredible. We got like 10 knots of boat speed and about, I don't know, maybe 13 knots of winds, flying the Screecher. We anchored, we went swimming, we had lunch, and then we had kind of dinners out. We went out for a Turkish breakfast with them, which was so cool, really amazing. Love a Turkish breakfast. We did like a barbecue on board, so we invited everyone over essentially for like a boat party, and we did a barbecue and we had music on, and things got a little bit hectic, and it was just so fun. So thank you first of all to all of our amazing patrons that came out. It was so great. Thank you to Alan and Pia who helped us out with behind the scenes and planning and just ensuring the smooth running of the event. And also thanks to the Seawind Europe team here, Kavanch and co. They were amazing. They really helped us out. But yeah, it was great meeting you all, hanging out with you and getting to know you.
What an amazing season we've had.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best season we've ever had. We said that the French canals was one of the best things we've ever done. This trumps it. I can't, honestly. We've just had so much fun. The sailing is so easy. The locations are so fantastic. The anchorage is brilliant. We've stopped worrying about our anchor dragging. Nothing else to complain about, really.
Yeah, we've just had such an incredible time. We've been trying to like talk between the two of us and determine what our highlights have been, and we keep saying like, what was your favorite place, or what was your top 3 or whatever, and honestly I couldn't even tell you. Like, I always land on the same thing, which was everywhere that we went was so amazing, with the possible exception of Santorini, which we didn't love.
Absolute gash of a place.
Yeah.
But no, great season. I know a lot of YouTubers have covered the Greek islands. This is our take on it.
So,
anyway. All together now.
Please subscribe to our channel.
Thank you for watching. Leave us a comment. But no, genuinely lovely to have you here. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Thank you so much for being there for us. We'll see you all next season. Take care. Goodbye.